Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're unpacking something that is, honestly, incredibly important and surprisingly simple. We're going to decode a children's song to reveal a powerful, structured toolkit for adults to teach body safety without any of the fear. Teaching kids about boundaries and bodily autonomy can often feel kind of daunting or awkward for parents and educators. But as we'll see, using clear, accessible language completely changes the dynamic. We're using the lyrics of this song as our guide to really understand how to communicate these vital concepts effectively.
Okay, let's just jump right in with the song's undeniable hook, which instantly establishes the ultimate core theme of physical ownership. My body is my body. My body, it's only for me. This phrase does a ton of heavy lifting. It's repetitive, it's definitive, and it leaves absolutely zero room for doubt. By having a child actually sing or say these words out loud, they're actively affirming their own agency right from the very start. It sets the baseline rule for literally everything that follows.
Section 1. Teaching safety through song and its educational pillars.
So before a kid can actually protect their boundaries, they really have to grasp what it means to own their physical space. By starting with non-threatening, everyday extremities, like, as the song says, "This is my hand, this is my 10 little wiggly toes," it gently builds a psychological foundation. It's a remarkably clever teaching technique. You get the child nodding along, agreeing that yes, their hand is theirs, their toes are theirs, before seamlessly scaling up to the idea that their entire physical self fundamentally belongs to them. Moving on to Section 2, defining ownership and physical boundaries.
What's really fascinating here is how practical this gets. Conceptually, the song uses the everyday idea of a swimsuit or underwear to clearly define exactly what areas are considered private parts. It lists them out plain and simple: chest, bottom, and private parts. These are areas most kids already associate with being covered up in public spaces, like at a pool or the beach. By tying the concept of privacy directly to the physical boundaries of a swimsuit, it gives children a concrete reference point. It takes a highly abstract concept and makes it incredibly easy for them to grasp.
And here is the absolutely crucial point: the absolute nature of this boundary. Notice the specific language used. No one should touch my private parts. No one, not one bit. That intense repetition of the phrase, no one, that's entirely intentional. It ensures the message leaves no room for misinterpretation. It doesn't say hardly anyone or only a few people. It establishes a hard line. When we teach kids about safety, ambiguity is the enemy. And this lyric, it eliminates ambiguity entirely.
The lyrics actually go a step further to proactively wipe out any gray areas by explicitly listing out who no one includes. A big kid, a friend, a grown-up, someone new, they are all equally prohibited from crossing this physical boundary. This is so vital because kids often assume that if they know someone or if that person is an authority figure, the rules might somehow change. The song clarifies, for sure, that familiarity does not override physical boundaries.
Section 3. Finding a brave voice and creating an action plan.
So what happens if that boundary gets tested? Let's break down this explicit, two-step action plan that empowers the child. Step 1. Say no. But not just a quiet no. The lyrics specifically encourage using a big voice, brave voice. It gives the child explicit permission to be loud and firm. Step 2. Immediately go and tell a grown-up they trust. It's a simple, actionable sequence that a child can easily remember in a moment of stress. Speak up, then seek out a safe adult.
Which brings us to what is arguably the most important reassurance in the whole toolkit. It isolates one of the most powerful mantras in the entire track: telling is okay, telling keeps me safe. This is specifically designed to strip away any fear, guilt, or stigma a child might feel about coming forward. Often kids stay quiet because they're afraid of getting in trouble, right? By repeating that telling is not just acceptable, but that it literally creates safety, we give them the psychological permission they need to use their voice.
Section 4. The role of trusted adults and navigating exceptions. This part brilliantly illustrates nuance, because, life isn't always black and white, and kids do have to go to the doctor. Here we contrast the strict general boundary, no one should touch my private parts, with the medical exception. The lyrics explain that a doctor helps my body, but notice the vital, non-negotiable caveat attached to it. This only happens with a grown-up I trust. It doesn't just hand the doctor a free pass. It maintains a system of checks and balances where the trusted adult acts as the child's safe harbor.
Section 5. Everyday consent in action.
The lyrics toss out this incredibly common everyday question:
Want a hug? It really makes us stop and think about how we usually treat physical affection with kids. So often in society, kids are told to go give grandma a hug or hug your friend goodbye, totally regardless of how they feel in that moment. This simple question is actually challenging that societal norm. It brings the concept of consent all the way down to the level of everyday greetings.
And then we get this direct, empowering answer. Only if you want one. Providing this direct response shows that everyday, casual consent is just as important as the big rules we covered earlier. It reinforces the fact that children have the absolute right to decline physical affection from anyone at any time. It teaches them that their comfort matters. Their no will be respected in all situations, big or small.
Finally, we'll leave you with this profound thought straight from the lyrics. A simple yet powerful summary of everything we've just unpacked in this explainer. Your body is yours. If we can just instill this one truth into a child's worldview, it's like handing them a lifelong shield. So how will you start integrating this language into the everyday lives of the children you care about? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and keep fostering those essential boundaries.